Whew. It's one of those mornings. All right, let's take a look. It looks like the stream is up. So there we go. Hey, two people on channel already. Good morning to you. So just getting set up here this morning. And today is going to be a shorter live stream. We'll wrap up on last week and talk about what's happening this week. But before all that, welcome everybody. Good morning and thanks for stopping by the channel. My name is Rich Charpentier and I'm the channel host. 9 times out of 10 when you come here, you're going to see some videos on drone work and photography and growing a small drone business and some of the realities of growing that small drone business, including weeks like last week. So welcome and good morning. I see we've already got a couple people on channel. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. And I know a lot of people watch this in a replay afterwards. So if you miss one of the live streams here, YouTube gets it ready pretty quick. Usually when a live stream completes, YouTube has it available immediately in SD quality. And then at some point during the day, they also get it to high def. So if you come in here shortly after a live stream, usually what's available to you is only standard definition. So I've never pointed that out before. Soda City, good morning. How are you doing? Good to see you here this morning. So thanks for stopping in. And like I said, this is going to be a weird stream. So the big event going on is we have found a new rental place. So I thought last week I'd be taking the green screen down, but didn't have to. This week, the green screen's coming down. Good morning, Bruce. Good to see you here. Thanks for popping in this morning. So this week is going to be packing, getting ready. We've already been doing a lot of packing. The main room that hasn't been packed up yet is the studio room. Where we're moving to, the new studio room is going to be a little larger, so I'm going to do a couple different setups. I want to be able to film from this side as well, back at the screens when we're talking through things. I don't have a cold going on or anything. It's still just the early morning wake up here. But so a lot of things are going to be getting torn down this week. We'll see what happens to next week's stream because we're probably going to be in mid-move, so that should be interesting. Now, let's go back to last week really quick, and then we'll talk about what's coming up for this week. So number one, I've got the Manchog Pond Foundation's website up. And no, this is not a drone photo on the right-hand side. So this is a lake that I actually grew up on as a kid, and a lot of fond memories here. But this photo was taken from an airplane. So one of the gentlemen who was around when I was a little kid, Mr. Swenson, owned this island right out here, Mr. Swenson's Island. And that's what we all called it. And across the way, you see this little patch. That's actually Blueberry Island. So for some points of the years, there's blueberry bushes out there. Fun thing to go paddle out to as a kid. But so this is kind of a nostalgic thing here. Last week, my dad ended up hospitalized. Sorry. And he's doing good. So that's good. But it really put the sense of distance from myself and my family being all the way out here in Arizona. So I wanted to show the Manchog Pond because it's on my mind. So there we go. So that was one of the big things last week that kind of threw everything off. And of course it should. Like I said, he's back at home recovering and doing good. We actually helped the Manchog Pond Foundation years ago. My family's been heavily involved. Uncles, aunts, cousins, you name it. Our family actually loves this place. And as you can see, they have a nonprofit organization to help maintain the quality of the lake. It had been tested as one of the cleanest lakes in New England for a very long time. I think it still is. And so they have the whole lake community plus extended family and friends from around the country who happen to love Manchog Pond. Now, they call that a pond out there. Here in Arizona, they consider that a huge lake because we've got something like Watson Lake, which I consider kind of a small puddle in compared to the Manchog Pond. But wonderful place if you're ever in New England and in Massachusetts. Take a tour by Manchog Pond and the other local lakes in the area. It's real pretty scenes. So I'm going to close that one up now, and sorry about that little momentary hiccup of myself. It was a trying week. So in addition to that family emergency, Um, I was taking the truck in to get a repair, so an initial $9,300 quote worked out to be a $3,000 job with a different repair shop. So thumbs up to Arizona Exhaust out of Prescott, Arizona. They're not a sponsor, but the owner, Bill, was absolutely fair and wonderful to work with. And so we've got the Granadels up here now in Explore Prescott, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. So we've got the moving, we had the family thing, we had the truck thing, and I was also running into a dental appointment last week. So it was a crazy week that will throw you off. And as a small business owner, you're going to have those sometimes. And you got to remember to cut yourself some slack and give yourself some time off, because I find myself working every day on different projects. As a matter of fact, yesterday, and one of the reasons why I didn't have a lot of topics for today was the fact that I actually spent over 6 hours recording and editing. I'm already into a new class that I haven't even announced yet, haven't announced it over on the Patreon channel. So nobody knows what it is yet, and I'm not going to tell you till the end of this month when we see where we're at in the filming. But I got a good amount of work in yesterday, and that'll be showing up over on az-drone at teachable.com. And if you notice on the stream now, in the lower right-hand corner, I do have az-drone.teachable.com. We also do have the Patreon channel. All of those things are linkable down below. So now I wanted to talk about what's coming up this week. So we had this crazy week last week. Let's hope this one's a little mellower. So upcoming, we're going to be doing some more virtual tours. Since we have, I'm looking at this move as an opportunity as well. Once we've got this house completely cleared out, we are shooting it for the owner and the realtor. We're going to be doing a 360 virtual tour. We're going to be using the Theta Z1, and we're going to be doing a bracketed mode with that because we want a higher end 360 virtual tour. We're also going to be adding in some nifty little toys to an extra 360 virtual tour, which the realtor doesn't have to use. It's going to be a non-branded one, but we're going to be putting some special features in that you might not have seen in many virtual tours. So you'll have that to look forward to on one of the upcoming live streams. And I just pulled up the Explore Prescott, because Explore Prescott has examples of different types of tours, both aerial and terrestrial. And what we're going to be doing when we do our move is we're going to be doing some aerial tour work for this house, as well as the interior tours and the interior stills. So it's going to be a combination of several things, and I think that that's going to be a good launching point for a conversation with small drone operators and all of you who are building your businesses, that that you can see the application. So I'll be bringing you along for the shoot, and then doing the shoot and then processing the shoot. So that's going to be something that's going to evolve here over the next couple of weeks, because we're going to have a lot of material. And the first material, of course, needs to go to the landlords and to their realtors so that they can get selling. So they are in a big hurry to get a move on, and they're looking to move out of town. So there you go. So if you haven't taken a look over at exploreprescott.org, that's one of our other little sister sites. We do fun projects there, and we show off Prescott, Arizona. So if you have any interest in the Prescott area, take a look through our virtual tours around town. You can also take a look over at the blog as well, and the blog posts often will have some of the new tours. We also had that Courthouse Square Holiday Lights if you missed it on a previous live stream. So that one's a lot of fun. We each did one. We did one 360 tour with the Canon 7D, and we did one 360 tour with the Theta Z1. And I really do like the results between the two. I do lean a little heavier toward the DSLR on that side. So I'm going to close up that window, and that brings us to the second building. So this is where we're headed to. And so we did just a quickie virtual tour just with the automated HDR mode. And I'm actually going to go through and do a better one afterward with the house completely staged. So once we have everything set up, including the new studio room, we'll be doing one of those. And it's going to be kind of unique. So one of the things I did in this living room, and I don't have my volume.
Sample virtual tour.
So let me pause my own audio for a second, see if you can hear this, because I don't have the audio tied into the stream.
Showcasing higher-end homes. The property you're looking at is a rental home in Prescott, Arizona.
All right, so that was probably really low, but what you might have picked up there is the fact that I actually added an audio file to one of the scenes. So in the end, when I'm done with this tour, we're actually going to have a couple of little video clips or some audio clips going into and out of each of these rooms. It's a unique feature. I shouldn't say unique. Several of the other 360 cloud services out there do things like this. But one of the things I like about Kula is that you can add video clips in, you can pull up still images, or you can do audio files if you're giving a virtual tour walkthrough and you want a voiceover in that. So not only is that interesting for homes for sale or rent, that could be really interesting for museums, for doing walking tours. Since we're in the world of the virus that should not be named, giving people other options to tour places. You know, Prescott is a very popular vacation location, especially for people coming up from Phoenix in the summer. And as people curtailed their travel this year, they're looking for other ways to see the places they want to go for their future planning for their visits. So I really do, I was never big into the 360 tours until a little over a year ago when I started playing heavily with the 360s with the drone. And that drew my interest into what else can we do with this. And of course, as many of you know, if you're interested in the photography and real estate photography business, is that a lot of people have been evolving toward tours. One of the things I get a real kick out of when we were house hunting was that they had virtual tours, which turned out just to be still slideshows. So I've seen a lot of realtors who are popping up virtual tours, and they're not really virtual tours because they're single images and you can't see the whole building. You can't navigate through the whole interior. And, with the 360 tours, you really can see the entire space. So I think it gives you a much better idea of how the building flows and where things are in it. So I had taken you through setup of this. So just a couple of videos back, if you haven't seen it, I actually walked through the setup with Kula on these to give you a feel. And I did center all these. I did do these in the center of the rooms. When I do the final walkthroughs, we're gonna change some of those views so that they're not just so centered. And so that's gonna be the new studio room that we just looked into. Alrighty, so let's take a look here. So we'll be doing that this week, getting the move on, and hopefully getting some of those, some of the videos, some of the stills, some of the audio for putting all that together. Also this week, we are doing a photo shoot for a new client. So it is a mix. It's going to be some drone-based aerial photography and then some terrestrial-based imaging for them as well. So in the middle of all the packing and everything else, I get to load up all the gear, put it in the truck. We get to go over with some light stands. Yes, we're bringing light stands because we're going to be doing some outdoor portraiture work as well as the drone work. So that should be interesting. And we'll get that popped up here in the next couple weeks. So basically this week, I'm going to be loading up on a lot of material. And then it's when I have the time to actually go through all that material. So it's going to be interesting. So I'll have several folders of new stuff coming up for you. And for the patrons over on Patreon, yes, I'm going to have a new announcement up this week and have a conversation with y'all about where the channel is going. Because as I'd mentioned here before, we're going to be expanding more beyond just the drones, because as you're building your small drone business, you're probably going to get other photography requests. So we're going to talk about editing with Lightroom and Photoshop and Affinity Photo, using different HDR tools and using other terrestrial tools as well. And I've got a couple sitting off to the side here. Let me see whose audio or whose comments I've missed. Oh, so let's see. Corey, are you still with us? Ralland and video also, because I'm editing a Ralland. Oh, cool. Very cool, Corey. Let's see. Roseanne, good morning. How are you doing? And no issues for Michael. Okay. Yeah, just let me know. I'm sorry I didn't look over there sooner to see if there was any audio going on. I'm also going to be rearranging where I have the microphones and things when we get the new studio. So the main desk is going to have a supplemental desk as well, which is sitting outside at the moment. So, okay. What I was saying is we're going to be expanding topics here. So the newest course that I launched over on Teachable is actually part of a bundle package now. So here's my self-advertising because I forget to do that so often. But the newest course series, my new Post-Part 107 class, has been bundled with all the other courses over on Teachable, which is something I never could do on Udemy. So I'm really thrilled that I can actually bundle classes and package things up with a discount price where you can get access to everything. So the newest one is the Post-Part 107 course, and then all the other courses go along with it. And in that course, we talk about the reality that realtors and other people who are using your services are probably going to want more from you. For instance, one of the things that pops to mind, last year's big project with CW Builders, we were tracking their project for well over a year for their construction progression. And when we were wrapping that up, they did ask for some other stills and some other cinematic work. So because we did such a great job with all that modeling and the progression work, they wanted to carry through and continue working with us. So if you're saying to yourself, I'm drone only right now, you might want to reconsider that stance, because if you're doing great work for these folks, they will be interested in putting as much business in your direction as possible. So that does come up in the new class series. And so I did mention this series on Saturday when we did a Saturday Quickie live stream. And you can go through and read this yourself. I don't need to read all this off to you. But also, if you're not interested in the whole bundle, we do have individual classes that are also available. So that's the big plug for us here. And before I do anything else with that, so we'll just put that one back up there. Let's talk about what else is going out with me. So the drone is always in the truck when we're going to do some kind of shoot, whether it's a drone shoot or any other shoot. But we're starting to carry the heavier gear bags around again. And we're going to be talking in an upcoming video about a camera that's well known. This is the Canon M50. I bought the Canon M50 quite a while ago now for doing these live streams. Right now I'm using a Logitech streaming camera, but in many of my videos, the M50 was actually recording me from behind the screens for some of the class videos. I have found this to be an incredibly powerful little camera, which I was really surprised by. You know, I've been shooting with a 5D Mark II and a 7D and a Sony. You know, I've got too many cameras in my life. But when I got the M50, I didn't expect the kind of results that I've been getting out of it. So the M50 is now turned into my primary interior photo camera. So it's been an interesting transition. And I can still use the bulk of my Canon lenses because of the ring adapter. So I'm going to go through and do an entire video about the M50 down the road and the kind of work that we've been doing with it. What I really love about it is the size. So I can take one of my smaller Pelican cases, get this in there, get the interchangeable lenses in there, and go on site with a smaller set of baggage than I ever was able to do before when we were doing a lot of portraiture and weddings and things. We were always lugging around, you know, tons of equipment. And now with the new mirrorless systems, the way they're working out is incredibly amazing. We're also going to do talks about exterior and interior still photography. And so one of the other purchases from last year from my equipment budget was the Evolve 200. I do have other studio lighting. I've got a couple of Alien Bs along with a huge power pack. Once again, giant equipment, bringing in the stands and things and bringing in those Alien Bs. They're massive in comparison to this little one. And we've been finding that for a lot of our needs, just these small portable strobe systems have come such a long way. So let me take a look over and see if I've missed anybody else. Okay, so we're here. All right. So Corey, all good for you? I know sometimes the audio is a little off for you. Just let me know if it's still being strange there. But so in the coming months, we're going to talk a little more about the terrestrial stuff, because we're looking more and more to combine not only the drone work, but also the terrestrial stuff for realtors. So we are going to be on a push this year for getting a couple of realtors. We don't want every realtor around because there's so much construction and so many new homes that there's a lot of people in the real estate industry. What we're looking to find are a couple of regular realtors that we can work with, who also share our desire for really accurate interiors and exteriors, especially after our house hunt over the past couple of weeks. I've seen the gamut. Um, Between really poor photography or overcooked photography or just right. So going through a lot of images of rental homes here since a little before Christmas, and then seeing the rental homes, sometimes night and day what you see on screen versus what you walk into. So a couple of the houses we walked right back out of as well. So there we go. There is the short catch up from what was going on last week and the direction that we're going to be going in. So I understand that a lot of people come here just for the drone information and the drone tutorials, but I think that it's important that if you're interested in building your drone business, you start considering the fact that people are going to be asking you for more than just the drone flights. And with that in mind, if you have some time to do a little bit of learning, there's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube to get you going. And I've got to give a big shout out to Rich Baum and Nathan Cool, two other YouTubers here. So if you haven't checked them out, Nathan Cool and Rich Baum. And I've learned a lot about interior photography work from them over the course of the past year. So I've been watching a lot of their videos for quite a while now. And they've really helped me out. And yes, I've known how to do off-camera flash for quite some time after doing a lot of portraiture work. But there's some different things in real estate work. I think it was Nathan Cool who said, houses aren't built to be photographed, they're built to be lived in. And, photography of these interiors is actually an interesting challenge, I'll say. But once you learn how to do it right and you get a proper workflow for yourself, I think that this stuff can go quickly and potentially add to the growth of your small drone business or your small imaging business. So I hope you're all okay with that we're going to be adding some new stuff in, and it's not just going to be all drone stuff this year. Let me take a look over again. Good morning, Davenport. Good to see you here as well. Thanks for popping in this morning. And like I said, sorry for the shorter stream today, but we did a really big one on Saturday and another impromptu one last week as well. And I think what got me was 6 hours of recording and editing yesterday. So in that 6 hours, I actually have the items that still need to be uploaded. So what I was working on yesterday has some 360 stuff, and then it also, just double clicking here to see if it'll pop open, we also have some live editing and working through images that were generated for that one. So we're going to be doing more of those where we're not only doing the shoot, but then we're doing the post-processing afterward as well. And so there will be a lot of Lightroom featured here. But as I've discovered Affinity Photo, thanks to somebody on the stream and also somebody who's on the Patreon channel, thank you so much. We're going to be doing more of those things as well. So we're going to try out some other software packages that I don't normally use. Thank you, the teachable side. Glad to hear your... Yeah, he's doing great at home. Thank you, Roseanne. And Michael, I like the direction. Okay, thanks, Michael. I know that I have people popping in here who are drone. But I mean, if we're all interested in building these businesses, we've got to look beyond it, and we've got to constantly be learning. I'm constantly learning. So I want to bring you along with me on that journey. And yeah, let me see. Limiting yourself to aerials leaves money on the table. Absolutely. I started a sister company, Solar City Media, for the groundwork. That's awesome. And that's, I get the question from clients. Even our raw land clients, I've had the question of, what else are you guys doing? What else can you offer us? So that's fantastic. And, rather than shuffle your feet and go, oh, I'm just about drones, if you start building a larger portfolio of everything put together. And so one of the big things from this week, my goal this week in the move, is that I want to take you through a much higher end shoot of this building when it's empty. And the same thing with the new location. So we're going to spend a little more time because we're going to be featuring the still photography, the off-camera flash photography, the drone work, because we are going to be flying the property as well. The owner loved some of the drone work that we did the other year just for fun here. So she wanted some updated drone work. So probably a small 30-second video clip, as well as a couple of 360s. Because let me tell you, in some of these neighborhoods, these 360s are awesome to give people the idea of what their overall neighborhood's going to look like and where they fit into that neighborhood. So there's where a lot of the drone work comes in. And then from the drone work, you bring them into the home and you show off all the features of the home, especially things like the gorgeous windows that we have on the north side of the building here, that really make for, we get to watch gorgeous sunsets out the window in this location. I can't say the same for the new location. So when you see where we're moving to, you will notice some things that I am purposefully editing from the get-go, like not showing the entire property. So not thrilled with the property, but the house is the right size. But as I've said to RV park clients before, sometimes editing starts in the camera, right? And my photographic decision making helps to make the park look a little better. Let's say for some of the RV parks that I've worked with over years, the broken down fifth wheel with 2 tires sitting off in the lot looking like a junky location is not a selling point for your RV resort. We probably shouldn't photograph that one. And also, you should probably get that tenant to clean up their site. So when we're doing these, we're going to see everything in this building and almost everything in the other building. And I'll talk to you about why I'm making my editing decisions. And maybe I'll show you the exterior just so you get the idea and go, yeah, I wouldn't want to display that either. All right, let me take a look back down. All right. Okay, so I haven't missed any others, and I did keep my promise of this being a shorter stream. So look forward to random streams this week. If you don't see the random streams, we'll get something up next Monday for sure, whether I'm in this location or the other location. But yeah, I think this is going to be a busy weekend. So wish us luck. My fingers are crossed. We got to sign the lease this week with the property owner, so he was just getting a couple other things squared away as well. Moving, I hate doing it, so hopefully this will be the last one for a little while. Okay, everybody, as always, I hope you have a fantastic start to the week, and I hope that you have a great week as well. We'll see you again real soon, and make sure you fly safe and you're having fun. And as always, feel free to get in contact, and for those of you who weren't on the live stream, look below down in the comments, and we've got all of our links for you and everything to anything you missed. And also make sure that you look back at the other live streams that have come up, like Saturday's live stream, I think is probably a very interesting one to a lot of folks. And we had a lot of fun with that one. So I enjoyed it, and I think everyone on channel enjoyed it. We'll see you again real soon. And yeah, I might be exhausted next week. We'll see what happens.